here's a practice to get grounded and steady. All you need for practice is a mat and a block. If you have sensitive knees, you might want a folded towel or a blanket too. So let's do it. So just coming right onto hands and knees, and you can have your block nearby for a little bit later. Stacking your hands directly underneath your shoulders and just kind of gently spreading the fingers and sort of leaning a little bit side to side, just pressing into your hands and feeling what is there. And then coming into settling onto hands and knees. Notice how your wrists feel here. And if you feel like there's tightness or tension or even discomfort, then you're going to take your hands a small step forward. Otherwise, keep them stacked directly underneath your shoulders. And just moving right away with the breath here, breathing in and out through the nose with your inhale. Lift your sit bones, tuck your toes under, and look forward, shining the heart forward. And with your deep exhale through your nose, drop your tailbone under you, gently pressing the earth away, and feel your upper back shine toward the sky. Let's do that again. Inhale, tuck the toes, lift the sit bones, dropping the shoulder blades down the back, looking up. Deep exhale, feeling the breath move in and out through your nostrils as you gently push into the floor with your hands and tops of your feet. One more time, tuck the toes, lift the sit bones, looking forward. And exhaling, dropping the tailbone under you and rounding, chin to chest. Coming into that cow spine again, tuck your toes under and look forward. And we're going to take a nice deep breath as you squeeze the mat with your fingertips, like you're kind of digging your fingerprints into the floor. Gently shift your shoulders forward of your wrists just as far as feels okay. And then as you exhale, you're going to tuck your tailbone under, release your fingertips, and press your sit bones back toward your heels as deeply as feels good. You might feel a nice stretch in the feet there too. Inhale as you come forward like you're going into cow spine. Lift the sit bones up, squeeze the mat, shift your shoulders slightly forward of your wrist, just as far as feels good. Look forward. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, release your gentle grip, chin to chest, and rounding the upper back. Inhale, coming forward, squeezing the mat, shoulders rocking forward as far forward as feels okay. Really gentle on your wrists. And exhale, tucking the tailbone and rounding back. Pause in this position for a moment. Take a nice deep breath. And now we'll exhale, rock forward with that cat spine. Squeeze the mat with your fingerprints as you bring your shoulders slightly forward of your wrists. With your inhale, now lift your sit bones up, looking forward, lifting through the chest, letting your hips press back to your heels. Exhale, squeeze the mat with your fingertips, rounding the upper back, chin to chest. Inhale, letting your sit bones move back, releasing your fingertips and looking up. And one more time, exhale, rounding forward, squeeze the mat. Inhale, softening hips back on top of your heels. We're just coming up onto hands and knees here. Go ahead and take your block, and you're going to take it between your inner thighs so that the block is its thinnest width. And you want to take it across in between your thighs so that the block isn't like sticking way forward, but it's kind of flush in line with the tops of your thighs. And then crawl yourself back down onto the floor. And we're going to come all the way down onto elbows. You can interlace your fingers and tuck your bottom pinky under. And kind of crawl your knees back a little bit so you start to feel like you're in a forearm plank pose on your knees. Your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, and just make sure you're not squeezing your hands. Slide your shoulder blades down the back, stabilizing them on the back. And we're going to do 10 knee liftoffs. So if you feel strain in your body anywhere at all, you can just hold this position. You don't need to lift the knees, but squeeze the block a little bit between your thighs. So take a nice deep breath. If you're lifting off, exhale, lift from your low belly, press into your feet and float your knees off the ground. And inhale, come on back down. Deep exhale to lift from your low belly. Squeeze the block as you float your knees off the ground. And inhale back down. We're going to do 8 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So we got 4 more. Inhale. Really use your breath and use your core. Feel your ribs engage and lower. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Walking up onto your hands, take your block out of the way, hands right underneath your shoulders. We'll just take some easy spirals around with the tailbone. You might roll your shoulders and turn your head to just releasing any tension that might have collected while you were stabilizing through your core. Let's go through the shoulders a little bit. So we're just going to take that right hand forward and extend your hand so it's kind of like a firm hand, like you're kind of chopping into the floor a little bit. Keeping your left shoulder directly over your wrist, and try not to bend your left elbow. You're just going to take your right arm up next to your ear, and then as it turns open to the right, don't let your ribs open up. Keep your ribs parallel to the floor and turn your arm all the way back around behind you. And then you'll turn your thumb all the way up to face the ceiling and let your pinky side of your hand come down to the floor. And then lift your right thumb directly up behind you. Try to keep your head and neck in line with your spine. Turning your arm open and forward, reaching all the way up, kind of chopping the floor a little bit. One more full cycle like that. Try not to lean, reaching out and around as wide as you can. Thumb faces up, and then pinky side of the hand touches down. Thumb goes straight up to the sky, opening up through the shoulder just as wide as feels okay, and bringing your hand down underneath your shoulder, and we'll switch sides. Sorry, plant. Take the left hand out in front of you, drop the shoulder blades down the back, and we'll take the left arm up, open the arm open, really try not to open your ribs. It's isolating the shoulder rotation. Thumb comes right up behind you, back of the hand comes to the floor next to you. Thumb goes straight up behind you. Open your hand out to the side as you reach around, really trying not to open your ribs out to the left and just kind of chopping into the floor. One more full rotation all the way up and back. Try not to bend that right elbow. Try not to lean. Back of the hand comes down and taps down. And one more all the way up and around, making sure you're not dropping your head toward the floor like jutting your chin. And let your hand come down onto the floor. Take a nice deep breath and exhale back into a nice easy child's pose. Let's flip the palms up to the sky and draw the shoulder blades down the back, and then just relax, dropping your forehead. If your forehead doesn't touch the floor, you can always just take your block and let your forehead come onto the block, finding some space in the back of your neck. We're just going to take 3 deep breaths here. Big inhale. Big exhale. Deep breath. Breathe out your mouth. Now one more time. Deep breath. Breathe out your mouth. Coming back up onto your hands and knees, and we'll roll through some hips. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. I'm going to do my left leg first so you can see it a little more easily. So you're just going to bring your left knee into your chest, but try not to move your spine. So we're really trying to isolate the hips. So you want to keep your spine nice and stable and steady, and try not to lean to the right as you lift your left knee. So left knee kind of squeezes into the chest without tucking the tailbone under, and flex your left ankle. Pulling at your ribs a little bit, and then just lift your left knee directly out to the side as high as you can. Keep both elbows straight and don't lean to the right. And then turn your knee toward the floor as your heel comes up all the way, shifting around behind you. That leg sweeps back behind you, and then bring your knee into your chest again, trying not to tuck your tailbone under. Gently push both hands into the floor. Then we'll take the foot straight back up behind you. Try not to bend your back. Don't arch your back, but keep your ribs knit in. And then we'll take the knee out to the side as high as you can, and then bringing it up as close to your arm as you can. Swing it into the middle and put it down for a hot second. And we're going to do the same thing on the same side. So bring your left knee in, press both hands firmly into the floor. Left knee goes out to the side. Turn your knee down, try to keep your heel up, bring it all the way around behind, and bring your knee into your chest. Going back the other way, pressing your foot back up behind you, letting your knee come out to the left as high as you can, and then bring it up as close to your arm as you can. Don't lean, and bring your knee into your chest and put it down. Pause for a second, take a nice deep breath. Breathe it on out through your mouth. And we'll take the other side. So bring your right knee into your chest, give it a squeeze. Bring your right knee out to the right. Try not to lean to the left. Bring your knee toward the floor as you send your heel up and swing that leg all the way around behind you. Try not to bend your spine. Bring your knee into your chest. Don't tuck your tailbone under. Just give that thigh a squeeze as close as you can. And then lift your legs straight up, making sure your head and neck are in line with your spine. I think I just caught myself dropping my head. Bring your right knee out to the right as high as you can, and then bring it as close to your right elbow as you can. Don't lean to the left. Swing your knee in and put it down. Split second there. And then bring your knee into your chest, out to the right as high as you can. Press firmly into the floor. Knee turns down toward the floor. Sweep your leg around behind you. Knee into your chest, just as close as you can without dropping your tailbone under you. And then the right leg goes straight back up behind you, out to the right, as wide as you can, taking it up as high as you can, as close to your arm as you can, and let your knee drop down. Now let's return to child's pose, just softening back, hips to heels. And one more time, we'll turn the palms up to the sky. If you want to bring your block under your forehead, feel free. Take a nice deep breath and curl up some fists, ball up some fists, and then turn your knuckles in toward each other, just stretching through the backs of the wrist. And then open the palms, nice deep breath. Exhale, make your fists. Curl your fists in, just stretching through the back of the wrists a little bit. And then relax and release. One more time, fists. Curl them in. And inhale, release your palms open to the sky. Deep breath. Easy sigh. And just roll your way up to a seat. So moving through, getting really stable and steady in the wrists, shoulders, core, and hips. Hope you're feeling good. Namaste.